Professor. It's because of you that we meet here today. I also thank our fathers for joining us today in this very important event. It's very important because our calendar, as Professor said before, is the mother of all calendars of the world. And the very important concept that I want to emphasize in my presentation is that calendar is not simply a measure of time. It rather is a result of a deeper understanding of the movement of celestial bodies. It's not a measure of days, months, and years. It rather is a measure of the rotation of celestial bodies, the sun, the moon, and the stars. It's after that calendar can be designed. For example, one day is a time taken by the Earth to make a full rotation, and a month is a time taken by the moon to have a full rotation, almost 28 to 30 days. Even the word war engaged means the moon, and the year is the full rotation of the Earth revolving around the sun. So calendar can't come without the understanding of the movement of the heavenly bodies. So the point that I want to make today is that where the origin of all these things. All the sources I reviewed showed me that Ethiopians were the first to develop this science. This is witnessed by a number of historians. The first historian I quote here is Jomben Jokonon, and he says that the first calendar was developed about 6,000 years by the Black people living in the Upper Nile Basin, and was based on the cycle of the moon and the stars 6,000 years ago. And thereafter, these people living in the Upper Nile Basin reviewed it 2,000 years later, and the calendar that we are using today, we Ethiopians use today, is 4,000 years old. In the revision, the cycle of the sun was included. It was based on the cycle of the sun, the cycle of the moon and the stars. And people living in the Upper Nile Basin divided the year into 12 equal months with 5 to 6 days as a transition between the 2 years, what we call it Pagmeni. So no other civilization has a calendar before this time. And Diop, Shekanta Diop, who is the father of African history, is called that this knowledge was capable of calculating the precision of the equinox approximately for 6,000 years, he says. The modern science calculates only for 400 years, but people in the Upper Nile Basin, which includes the current the Kenya, Uganda, and the Kemet, the Sudan area, they could calculate the precision of the equinox for 6,000 years. Charles Finch, on the other hand, wrote in his book published in 2020 that these people living in the Upper Nile Basin were capable of calculating the precision of the great equinox, which happens once in 26,000 years. And those people were people who understood the intergalactic effect, the size of stars, and their trajectories. They were also capable of understanding the fact that the Earth revolves around the sun much before Copernicus. They were capable of developing a longitudinal map long before the development of the coming of satellites in the space. And therefore, these Ethiopians and people in the Upper Nile Basin and Eastern Africa were the origin of this calendar science. I had a video which is witnessed by Professor Sartima also. He also said that the calendar that the Europeans used today is taken from Egypt, and the Egyptians, the Greeks took it and divided into 28 diamonds, 29 diamonds, 30 diamonds, and 31 diamonds. But in Egypt, it was 12 months with 30 days each. And this was taken from Ethiopia. He word forward witness that the origin of the European calendar was the Ethiopian calendar. And Luchan word forward said this, that the Ethiopians were the first who invented the science of stars and give names to the planets, not at random and without meaning, but descriptive of the qualities which they conceived them to possess. And it was from them that this is the art passed down to the Egyptians in an imperfect way, he said. As a result of that, Luchan described the Ethiopians, they are wiser than all men. The Ethiopians were the first, according to Luchan, to understand that the sun reflects the light it collected in the daytime from the sun. This art, this science is a full-fledged calendar used by Ethiopians and Egyptian farmers today. And it is also found in a fragmented form right from Kenya to Eritrea, including the Nubians. We have the Namuratunga in Kenya. We have the Guji and the Gedio calendar who are capable of understanding the star.
You okay? Hello?
Hello?
Are you there? Oh, welcome. Nice to see you.
Happy New Year.
Isamal is a professor.
Yes, ይሰማል። Okay.
Okay, ልቀጥል እየጨረስኩኝ ነው።
እህታችን አዎ ጨርስ።
Yeah, some people said, for example, our fathers can elaborate it. Some say that our calendar comes from Syria and some say from Egypt, but history tells that it is originally from Africa and from Ethiopia. And the Gujis and the Gedios can perfectly plot the star that appears every day in the sky, and the NASA proved it. The Sidamas have their calendars, the Walaitas have their calendars, and the Abushar, which our fathers can analyze this session. I interviewed Mamar Marvel once in a phone call, and he told me that a man who perfectly understands Abushar can exactly understand the day when he passes away with the greatest precision. And our father who has joined us here today, Yentabas also told me that a man who with the knowledge of Abushar can tell you the time without referring to his watch, because the air can be read, the soil can be read, the rain can be read, and the animals can be read and understood and interpreted as far as we possess the knowledge of Abushar, which is the most sophisticated science. But the Bahar Hasab also is within our church, and the Hasab Bizan and the like. All these are fragments of our calendar. It is not, I believe, and the sources I have referred showed me that the origin of the calendar is in Ethiopia, in Africa, not in Syria, not in Egypt. This is the point that I want to emphasize. Even the name Ethiopia comes from the understanding of the star, from the Great Bear, or what the Latin is called the Ursa Major. People living in the equator area used to call the Ursa Major or the Great Bear, the Ethiopia, to mean that the ancestral land of origin. So our fathers were capable of understanding perfectly the celestial bodies, the birds, and the flowers. They are all indicators of the time and measurements of time. I thought our ancestors was wiser than all men, as Luchan perfectly said. So our calendar is a result of understanding of the galaxies, the stars, the sun, and the moon, and where the origin of that calendar. We borrowed from no one, and where the origin of all that calendar, we must tell and teach our generations and generations to come. And I believe that we'll get the right credit for our fathers and for ourselves. Sorry for speaking before all these great fathers. I apologize. And I thank you very much. I must stop here. Thank you. God bless you. በጣም አመሰግናለሁ። እግዚአብሔር ይስጥልኝ። መልካም አዲስ ዓመት ለሁላችን።
በጣም እናመሰግናለን። በጣም እናመሰግናለን። ታንክ ዩ። እና አሁን አባቶቻችን ይናገሩና ከዛ እህታችን በኋላ ትናገሪያለሽ።
እኔ መጨረሻ በሆነ ነው ደስ የሚለኝ። ምክንያቱም ብዙ እኔ ከአሁን እንኳን ከሰማሁት ባጭሩ ኢምፖርታንት ነገር አለ ይዤ መጣሁት። አጭር ነች።
እሺ ምንም ችግር የለም። እሺ
አጭር ግን ኦኬ።
እሺ ምንም ችግር የለም። አጭር በኋላ ትናገሪያለሽ። አሁን አባታችን ይምጡ። ነው
ምናልባት ፕሮፌሰር ለእናንተ አንድ ሁለት ሶስት አረፍተ ነገር የተናገርኩትን ጠቅለል አድርጌ እንትን ብላቸው ከዛም ላይ እንትን ለማለት ይጠቅማቸው።
እሺ በአማርኛ
እሺ ለእናንተ አሁን እንግዲህ የተናገርኩት በአጠቃላይ ምንድን ነው፣ በጣም የውጭ ጸሐፊዎች የተናገሩት በሙሉ ይሄ በላይኛው የጊዮን ተፋሰስ አካባቢ የሚኖሩ ህዝቦች ይህን የዘመን አቆጣጠር እንደቀመሩና አውሮፓውያንም ከዛ እንደወሰዱ በዋናነት ከዚህ ከላይኛው የጊዮን ተፋሰስ እንደተነሳ፣ ቀጥሎ ግብጾች ከዛ እንደወሰዱት፣ ቀጥሎ ግሪኮች ወስደው አሁን ባለ 28 ባለ 29 ባለ 30 እና 31 እንዳደረጉት እንጂ መነሻው እዚህ እንደሆነ የውጭ እኔ የጠቀስኳቸው የታሪክ ምሁራን የጻፉትን አንስቼ ነው የተናገርኩት። እና አንዳንዴ ከሶሪያ አንዳንዴ ከግብጽ የሚባል ነገር አለ። እሱን እኔ ያነበብኳቸው ወይም የጠቀስኳቸው ሊቃውንት ይህን እንደማይስማሙበት፣ ይልቁንም ከዚህ ከላይኛው የጊዮን ተፋሰስ ተነስቶ ጥበቡ ወደ ታች እንደፈሰሰ እና ወደ ባህር ማዶም እንደተሻገረ ነው የሚናገሩት። ሌላው ይሄ በአንድም በሌላ መንገድ አሁን የጌዲዮ ካላንደር የጉጂ የምናምን የምንላቸውም ዝም ብለው እንዲሁ ሳይሆን ሰማያዊ አካላትን በማየትና በመረዳት የነሱን ዑደት በመከተል በየአካባቢው እንዲሁ ከኬንያ ጀምሮ እስከ ኤርትራ ድረስ የሚዘልቅ የዘመን አቆጣጠር በብጥስጣሽ መንገድም ቢሆን ያለ መሆኑን ነው ለመናገር የሞከርኩት። ምናልባት እንዲሁ እናንተ ይጠቅማችሁ ከሆነ ብዬ ነው እችን ሳመሪ ልስጣችሁ ብዬ ነው።
እሺ ኔትወርክ
የንታ ምልክት ናቸው። አንሚዩት ያርጉና ይናገሩ። ለየንታ በጻ እንስጣቸው። እንግዲህ ቀጥሎ የንታ ዘማን እናንተ ትንበሉ የንታ ዘላለምና የንታ በጻ።
እሺ
እናንተ እንግዲህ
እስኪ በደንብ አስተዋውቅልን እና በደንብ ስለምታውቃቸው
በደንብ የማስተዋወቂያትን አላስኩም። እንግዲህ
አይ ትንሽ ነው፣ ብዙ ነገር አያስፈልግም።
እንግዲህ የንታ በጻ እንላቸዋለን። መምህራን የንታ በጻ አለሙ በደብረ ታቦር መድኃኔዓለም ቤተክርስቲያን በሚገኘው የአራቱ ጉባኤ የምስክርነት መምህር ናቸው። ከዚህ በተጨማሪ በርካታ መጽሐፍትን የጻፉ ናቸው። አሁን ወደ 5ኛ አካባቢ መጽሐፋቸው ደርሰዋል መሰል። በጥልቀት ሁለቱም መጽሐፎቻቸውን አንብቤያለሁ። ስለ እንስሳት የተጻፉ ስለ ሕፃን አስተዳደግ የተጻፉ ሁለቱን አንብቤያለሁ። ሌሎቹን አላነበብኳቸውም። ግን እርግጠኛ ሆኜ መናገር የምችለው በዚህ በዘመናዊ ትምህርት በየትኛውም ዘርፍ በፕሮፌሰርነት ደረጃ ካለ ሰው ጋር እኩል ተነጋግረው እኩል ተሟግተው ሀሳባቸውን ማስረዳት የሚችሉ ናቸው። እኛ ያኛውን ዘርፍ ብዙ ችላ ብለን